Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to a video I've meant to do for so long. This is my entire current collection of Gunpla. I'm just gonna bust right into looking at the kits, but before I do so, I'm going to answer two questions I know you guys are gonna ask. Number one, why are some of them missing pieces? Well, that's because I've got so many and a lot of the pieces tend to kind of go missing. I keep them all in one big box, meaning to kind of go through them at some point. And question two I know I'm going to be asked is, where is insert Gundam name here? I don't keep every Gundam I review or build, so if it's not in this video, I don't have it anymore. But anyway, let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy. So first off, I'm going to start with the high-grade build fighters that I have, and this right here, of course, is the Scramble Gundam. The colors do look great. They grew on me over time, the clear parts look epic, and out of 5, I'd give it a solid 4, definitely. Next up then is the Luna Gazer Gundam. This is definitely what I would say is the kind of baseline for a high grade. It's solid, not too crazy in any kind of aspect. It's good, not great, has a lot of stickers though. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Next up then is the Nimpulse Gundam. This one is really cool. It comes with a lot of stuff, the green parts look great, the backpack is so cool, and this one I'd also give a good 4 out of 5. Next up then is the ZZ2. For a Build Fighters Gundam, this is neither fun nor exciting. For me, it's a little bit boring, but it is a solid kit, so I would give it a 3 out of 5 just for being good. It's not great though. Gundam Schwarzritter. It's cool, it's black, it's got a real Castlevania vibe and a massive sword. I'd give it a 4. The high-grade Build Strike. The mobile suit itself is what every high-grade should want to be, but too bad that backpack right there, that lets it down entirely. I might be inclined to give it a 5 if it was just the mobile suit, but with that backpack, I would only give it a 4. And now starting with the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans kits that I have, and this line really hit the ground running with this kit. So cheap, so awesome, however it does have some stickers that keeps it from being a 5, so this one gets a 4. I also have the Gunpla Expo limited edition version of that, which is in those cool, kind of clear but kind of opaque colors. This one looks awesome. So this is the 6th form of Barbatos, and by far my least favorite boxed version of Barbatos. It has really finicky side skirts, the proportions are just a bit off, and it just isn't as fun to pose or play around with. I'd only give this one a 3. Next then is the high-grade Barbatos Lupus, and this is my all-time favorite high-grade of all time. I know I said all time twice, it's just that good. This one gets a solid fucking 7 out of 5. It's the best. Bandai definitely took a step backwards with this after the Lupus. The Barbatos Lupus Rex is a very nice kit, but it is littered with stickers, the proportions just seem a little bit off, and the color accuracy just isn't there. It's still a nice kit though, and I'd give it a 4. This is probably going to be a bit of a controversial opinion, but this is my least favorite Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam of all of them. I just think it's plain nasty with that big kind of penis waist section, those weird feet, the asymmetry doesn't work, and all in all, I just don't like it. I would only give this one a 2, but the upgraded version, the Rinascimento, this ticks every box for me. It is absolutely awesome. They've done everything that they couldn't do with the last one, and I just love it. This one, I'd give a good 4. However, this right here is the king of the Astaroths. The high-grade Astaroth Origin is so cool. The colors, the weapons, everything. It's just perfect. 5 out of 5. The last of the Gecko kits then, and once again asymmetrical, is the Gundam Voile. This is a kit I really did want to love, but it kind of was a bit loose on me. I think I got a dud in regard to the polycaps, but besides that, it's dark and awesome. So if it was normal and the joints held together, I would give this a 4. Next up then is the awesome Gundam Bal. This might just be in my top 5 Iron-Blooded Orphans high grades. It's really damn good. I would say 4, but it's more of a 4.5. It's good. Next up is Gundam Flauros, and you're probably going to see a bit of a trend here. All these Gundam frames mostly get a 4 or higher. This one right here gets a 4 as well. Some people don't like that color, so there is the premium Bandai version in white and blue. This makes the Flauros look so much better, and this is a kit I would probably also give a 5. The Gundam Rebake, although it is awesome with those 4 arms, it does have a lot of stickers on the head as well as everywhere else. One of my least favorite Gundam frames, sadly, and I would only give this one a 3, but things only got just that little bit worse with the Full City. This is a kit I would love to love, but I can't. It has too many flaws. It feels like it's almost too big for the Gundam frame, almost, not quite. it has way too many stickers, and it's just a real pain in the ass to pose and stuff. It just isn't all that. Sadly, I'd only give this a 3 out of 5 as well, which sucks because I love the mobile suit. I just don't love the kit. The high-grade Kimars is a good baseline kit. Nothing special, but nothing bad about it at all. It gets a 3. The Kimars Trooper outdoes the regular Kimars in absolutely every way. Transformable legs, it looks absolutely spectacular. This one gets a 4. Literally more like a 4.5, but I'm trying to keep it to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But Vidar is the best Kimaris of all. It even survived a 3-story fall. This thing is great, 5 out of 5. Kimaris Vidar is a kit I didn't think I'd love, but I absolutely do. One of the best Gundam kits from Iron-Blooded Orphans, 5 out of 5. Gundam Dantalion after Gundam Barbatos Lupus is my number 2 favorite Iron-Blooded Orphans kit. This one also gets a 5 out of 5. Some people might love it, I don't, but I can't fault the model kit just because I don't like the Gundam design. The Gundam Gusion for me will get a 3. It is solid, it is good, I just can't get over those stubby legs. Moving on to Grunt suits, and the Shiden is a god among them all. 5 out of 5. And this suit just looks that much better in Orga's color scheme. As Iron-Blooded Orphans kits go, the Hyakuren is quite the letdown, but there is nothing really wrong with the suit itself. It's solid, it's fine, so it gets a 3 as well. The Hyakuri, on the other hand, is a much more unique mobile suit. It looks lightweight, it's completely different looking to anything else. This one gets a 4. The Hekija then drops the ball. The shoulders are just plain awkward, too many stickers, and it's not that good. I'd only give this one a 2. The Grays was the original high-grade IBO kit to really blow my mind, and I mean blow my mind. This is a Grunt suit that goes with everything. You'll want to just buy all the accessory kits just for this guy. I love it. It's awesome, it gets a 5. The Schwalbe immediately killed that charm, with too many fiddly bits and too much flamboyancy. It's still a great kit, but I'd only give it a 4. Same went for this one. The repairs on this one look fantastic, but it's still no original. And then the king of the Greys is the Greys Ein, brought the Greys to a completely different level. This is so awesome. I wouldn't quite say it's a 5. It does have a little bit of not so awesome aspects about it, but it's not a 4 either. This is more of a 4.5. And huge. The Reagan Glaze Julia also brought the glaze to a completely different level, but not necessarily in a good way. It's not a bad kit, it just isn't awesome. It is big, and it gets a 3. Ah, the Man Roadie. 2. The Helmwig may have been a letdown in the show, but not in reality. This thing gets a solid 5, and if you're wondering where my high-grade Grimjared is, I stood on it, it's gone. Someone at Sunrise or Bandai definitely likes Metal Gear, as you can tell by this one, but not so good at designing mecha. This one only gets a 2. The Hugo is not great. Okay, so now moving on to some Universal Century high grades. This right here is the Gundam Evolution Project Zeta. Bandai always seem to have a lot of trouble making Zeta Gundam work in model form. They did quite well here, but it's not a fantastic kit. It's a real baseline high grade. I'd give it a 3. So next up then, and very similar to the Zeta, the Gunpla Evolution Project Zeta, is the Barzam here. I feel this one is a little bit better just because it's not a Gundam and that's rare to see. This one gets a 4. I have never reviewed a Gundam The Origin kit, and I'd planned to start with this guy here, the Bugu, but I never got around to it, and I have to say I am extremely impressed. This is what high-grade Universal Century Gunpla needs to be like. This one gets a 4. The Rosen Zulu is one of the coolest mobile suits of all time, but this high grade does it no justice. Too many stickers, it's the wrong color, and it just kinda sucks. 2 out of 5. I think Gundam Unicorn around that time was a very experimental time for Bandai because of a lot of weird mobile suits. The Kshatriya should be awesome, it's not that great, it's okay, it's big, it's bulky, and too loose most of the time. I'll give it a 3. The Tristan is one of the 2 crappiest Gundams I have ever reviewed. This one gets a 1. That's it. Just because it's made out of plastic it gets a 1, nothing else. The Thunderbolt Gundam ground type does nothing special but nothing wrong. It just gets a simple 3. Excuse the state of my atlas here, I could have stored it a little bit better, but either way this is one of the best high grades I've ever built. This is a 5 out of 5. Onto real grades, and I gotta speed this up because it's getting late, but anyway, the real grade Exia, this one right here has the repair parts from the P Bandai store, and this gets a 5 out of 5. I also have this version, not finished yet. Real grade 00, arguably the best real grade of all, this one gets a 7 out of 5. Real grade Quanta, 5 out of 5, you can probably see where this is going. As for real grade Universal Century suits, there is Zeta, probably, in my opinion, the worst real grade of all. 1 out of 5. Real grade Zagok, super fun but not so posable, 4 out of 5. Gundam Mark II, an example of an absolutely perfect model kit. This right here, 5 out of 5, and you need one. Real grade Zephyranthus, kind of finicky, not the greatest, 4 out of 5, but still a good real grade. The Oni Build Fighters Org, and this is Build Strike Gundam. Awesome, 5 out of 5. Real grade Wing Zero EW, this fell apart on me while I was trying to put it up here, so I'm annoyed at it, only 4 out of 5. But everything is made better with Angel Wings, so the real grade Wing Zero Custom gets the 5. Real grade I'll Strike, I must have left a few parts behind in the box, but I love this kit. 5 out of 5 for this one too. The Freedom Gundam may be an upgrade in the show, but this real grade right here is just an upgrade in headaches. It keeps falling apart on me, 3 out of 5. The Strike Freedom, however, brings back the awesomeness, and this one right here with its cool gold inner frame gets a 5 out of 5. This awesomeness is not shared with the Destiny Gundam. This one is one of the weaker real grades, but it's still a real grade, which means it is still impressive, but it's annoying. 3 out of 5. And apparently, coloring it in orange doesn't make it any better. The red frame Astray is absolutely fantastic. 5 out of 5 for this guy. And the exact same goes for the gold frame. Absolutely spectacular. Solid 5. And the only real grade that can challenge the 00 Riser for the #1 real grade so far is the Unicorn right here. This is absolutely fantastic. 7 out of 5. Sinanju could have been perfect. Could have, but it's not. It looks so great on the outside, and if the inside was good, it would be good. But it uses an old frame that just can't support it, and it falls apart all the time. 2 out of 5. Onto some no-grade Gunpla now, and first up is Gundam CeraV here from Gundam 00. I've always wanted more 00 master grades, they didn't make them. I bought this to make up for it, and it sucks. 1 out of 5. That's the same reason I got Kyrios here. This is the no-grade Kyrios. Again, this sucks just like CeraV, but not as bad. 2 out of 5. Thankfully, the Reborn 100 seem to be doing things right, and Gundam Mark III here definitely is not master grade standard, but it sure blends in with them. 3 out of 5. The Ifrit Custom brought this even further. This is an awesome kit. It looks cool, the surface detailing is awesome. This one gets a 4 out of 5. The Reborn 100 Hama Hama is big and it's Xeon, but it's still just meh. It gets a 3 out of 5. As for the 1/100 Iron-Blooded Orphans kits, these are definitely touch and go, especially the first batch. This right here, the 1/100 Barbatos, isn't very good. Out of the box, it pretty much sucks. This one needs love. You need to paint this, fix this, do things to it, because it's not good out of the box. 2 out of 5. I don't know what they did to the second batch, the full Mechanics 1/100 kits, but they just seem to be so much better out of the box. Gundam Barbatos Lupus right here is almost perfect. Damn it, no it is perfect. 5 out of 5. And it seems like lightning doesn't always strike twice. This is definitely not a bad kit. It's a solid 4 out of 5. It just can't hold its weapons, and it's another kit that needs a little bit of love. The 1/100 Greys, not great, not awful, 3 out of 5. Same goes with the Kimaras, not a whole lot good to say about it, not a whole lot bad to say about it. Again, 3. The Full Mechanics Vidar is an awesome kit, one I'd love to give a 5 to, but I can't really bring myself to. This one gets a 4, but really, it's a 4.5. The Bale is also very nice, but not perfect. This one also gets a 4. 2 kits in one box, and it can't stand up. Bandai really failed Akihiro with this one. It's just not good. 2 out of 5. The high-resolution Barbatos looks absolutely stunning. Would look good on any shelf. But is this even really Gunpla? Half figure, half Gunpla, big price, and it's kind of all looks and little substance. This one's a very hard one to judge, but personally for me, I'd still give it a 4. Okay, so onto master grades, and it's getting late, so I'm going to speed this up. I'll Strike version remaster. That one is perfect. One of my favorite Gundams of all time. 5 out of 5. Gundam Blitz, back when master grades were simple, solid, and plentiful. 3 out of 5. The Buster Gundam is built like a brick shithouse. This thing is awesome. 4 out of 5. It is quite simple, but it's awesome. The first kit I ever reviewed on YouTube, the Aegis Gundam. 2 out of 5. The Infinite Justice. It's old, but I love it. 4 out of 5. Justice Gundam, just awesome in plastic form. This gets a 5.5 out of 5. It's that good. Providence Gundam, not quite on the Master Grade Freedom 2.0 or the Master Grade Justice Gundam's level, but it's still great. 4 out of 5. My favorite Gundam model kit of all time, the Master Grade Freedom 2.0, is sheer perfection. This one right here, I don't know, 10 out of 5. I know I'm going way over with that, but I'm just trying to stress how good this is. This is my favorite. Gundam Astray Noir, like the red frame but more badass, 5 out of 5. Master Grade Blue Frame D. This is kind of one of those Gundams you ask yourself why. Why did it happen? It's okay, not great. I used to think it was better, but all the parts fall off all the time. 3 out of 5. Once again, orange doesn't make the Destiny any better. The Master Grade Destiny, not great, 2 out of 5. The Impulse Blanche, beautiful Gundam, 4 out of 5. Lucas's Strike IWSP, you'll see the IWSP pack is in there, it literally just fell apart. 2 out of 5. Now moving on to Gundam Age Master Grades, and this one right here, Gundam Age 1 Normal, is one of my all-time favorite Gundams. 5 out of 5. I can't say the same for Age 2 Double Bullet. It's still good, just not that good. 3 out of 5. Dark Hound is even worse with loads of folly-offy pieces all over the place. 2 out of 5. So dumb, but so awesome. I only bought this thing because it was cheap and I thought it would suck. It doesn't. It's great fun. 4 out of 5. Moving now onto Gundam Build Fighters Master Grades, and first up is Build Strike. This is Build Strike plus the Star Build backpack thing. So this is Star Build Strike. The Build Strike on its own I'd give a 4 out of 5. Possibly a 5 out of 5, but not quite. But with the Star Build Strike part, that's a 5 out of 5. The Amazing Red Warrior is a fantastically fun Master Grade. 4 out of 5. The Sengoku Astray is a bit of a mixed bag. It looks... Well, it looks fantastic, but the kit itself is a bit of a clusterfuck, a bit of a mess. 3 out of 5. Exia Dark Matter looks fantastic, but this thing is a plastic hand grenade. 2 out of 5. Bandai playing us for fools again, just rehashing an old kit with some new parts. 2 out of 5. The Ring of Sita is a fun take on the Wing Gundam. It's not great, it's not bad, but it doesn't do anything wrong. 3 out of 5. Now moving on to the Master Grade Gundam IBO Kits, and let's start off with the Master Grade Exia. This thing looks great, one of my first Master Grades after coming to Japan, so I am a bit biased, and I have to give it a 4 out of 5. 007 Sword is an awesome Master Grade. It's not perfect, has its kind of flaws, but again, it's so cool. This one gets a 4 out of 5. I absolutely adore this kit, so it kind of breaks my heart to say this, but it's not really that good. You really have to do a lot to make this actually stand up even. 3 out of 5. So now moving on to some Unicorn Master Grades, and first up is the Unicorn itself. You can tell with this one Bandai tried really hard, but in the end it didn't even matter because it's a piece of shit. 2 out of 5. The Sinanju really is the Ferrari of the Gundam universe. Just look at that thing. It is let down though by those stickers and the fact that this was the Verka, so many parts broke around the waist and all that. So I can't give it the full 5, I can only give it 4. I'm guessing Bandai learned from their mistakes with the standard Sinanju, because the Sinanju Stein gets everything right, and a solid 5 out of 5. The Jesta was and still is my favorite grunt suit. This is a simple Master Grade, but it is awesome in its simplicity. 5 out of 5. A giant, a giant plastic hand grenade. The Rezel with its defensor thingamabobs gets a 2. The Delta Plus just isn't good at all. Anything that can go wrong with this has gone wrong with it. 1 out of 5. Okay, so now moving on to Miscellaneous Universal Century Master Grades. This right here is the only Master Grade 3.0 ever. This is the granddaddy, the Oryx 78-2, and it's a very, very nice kit. 5 out of 5. But somehow the Origin version is just that much better. How can it be better than 5 out of 5? It just is. It's so good. It might have a small head, but it's awesome. The Gym Sniper is one of the best Federation Grunt Master Grades around. 5 out of 5. The Hyakushiki is a spectacular Master Grade. Bandai finally got that gold paint down right, however the antenna on the head absolutely sucks, but anyway, still a 5. We rarely see Zeon Master Grade, so the Gyaradoga is a real breath of fresh air. This is such a fun build. 4. But there isn't a single Zeon kit that can hold a torch to the Master Grade Sazabi Verka. This thing is absolute perfection. This is art right here. This is pretty much as good as Master Grades get. This one also gets a 7. The first thing you'll notice here is the new Gundam is missing his wing. That thing is an absolute pain in the ass. This is a Master Grade for experienced builders only. Out of the box, it's not perfect at all. You need to do a lot of extra work to make this thing perfect, but it is absolutely beautiful. If you can pull it together, it's a 5. Out of the box, it's a 3. The high new Gundam may not be as fancy as the new Gundam, but it is solid. This one gets a 4. The Queble barely even feels like Gunpla. It's so different. This might be one of the oldest Master Grades I've ever made. It still holds up nicely, but it is aged. 3 out of 5. Another Verka that needs a lot of extra love to work. The Thunderbolt full armor proves that more is not better. Again, this would be a 3 out of the box, but if you put in that extra love, it could be a 5. The Psycho Zaku is pretty much more of the same, but this is more solid. This one gets a 4, but that backpack is like playing a big game of Jenga. Gundam X is a solid basic master grade. This gets a 3 out of 5, but you've got to be careful with that joint that holds on the backpack. Mine broke off. The Double X is more of the same. It's a good baseline master grade. It does what it needs to do and no more. 3. Well, the Turn X is probably one of the most unique master grades around. This one is good in some ways, bad in other ways, but all in all, it's just so unique, so cool, and I would give it a 3.5. It really is just worth it for the uniqueness. Moving on to some Gundam Wing Kits now, and this one I never fully got around to finishing sadly, so I can't rate this one. However, the Proto Zero is a really nice kit. This is probably as close as we're going to get to an actual Wing Zero. It's super simple, super nice, baseline solid. I'll give it a 3. The Wing Zero EW, this one has aged really badly. I don't like this kit whatsoever. 2 out of 5. This right here is pretty much a variant, but I've had this Gundam for over 15 years, I think. The Wing Zero Custom is the first ever Gundam I've ever built, but it still suffers from the same issues as the kit it's based on. But regardless, this one gets a 5 out of 5 from me for nostalgia. Depth side is cool and solid, but this barely makes the grade for a master grade, I feel. It's so simple. Still, from me, I'll give it a 3. The Heavy Arms is that little bit bigger. It's more unique, has a lot more going on, but at the same time, that Gatling gun is a pain in the ass. I'll give this one a 4. Altron is pretty much more of the same. It is pretty crappy that they made a lot of the upgraded Endless Waltz kits into P-Bandai kits. That really sucks, but the kit itself is okay, not great. That gets a 3 as well. The Tall Geese, like a lot of the simple master grade wing kits, is very simple. It was when Bandai used to pump out master grades like there's no tomorrow. This one gets a 3 as well. The Tall Geese 3 is pretty much just a variant as well, so that gets the exact same rating. This one right here, also getting a 3 out of 5. This thing is more of an accessory than anything else, a really expensive accessory. I'm not a big fan of it, it just doesn't really do anything good. It's just a big, huge chunk of plastic. I'd give this a 2 out of 5. This right here is the P-Bandai version of the GN Arms. This one is in a slightly different color to go with the real grade, but once again, it's pretty basic. It's just big, but it's basic. I'd give this a 2 as well. The ball, I just bought as a joke, but I thoroughly enjoyed this build. I'll give the ball a 4 out of 5. Now, I am absolutely no expert in perfect grades because I've only built 3 of them, but this strike is pretty basic for how big it is. This is pretty much what I would expect from a basic perfect grade, so I'll use this as a benchmark and I'll give that a 3 out of 5. However, the perfect grade Unicorn is an absolutely fantastic kit. It transforms, you can stick lights in it, and all in all, it just looks absolutely impressive. I'm going to give this one the 5 out of 5. So that is it for my entire collection of Gunpla. You may have expected it to have been bigger, and it was, because at multiple points I do get rid of some of the things I review and build because I just don't have the space to keep it. If there are some kits not in here that you would recommend, especially master grades or perfect grades, that I add to my collection, then let me know. I want to know what you guys think. Leave a like if you'd like to see more videos like this in future, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews and videos. See you next time.